To the outside eyes, these playoffs almost seems like they fixed because two teams looking like they were on life support. Minnesota Timberwolves and New York Knicks both win game three, and Minnesota tore up OKC. That was a different story. But the Knicks, their typical down by 20 comeback mantra. That's the same old story, and do just enough to eke out a win. Well, it makes sense. They won by six. They blew game one, so you can look at this series and say, yeah, it's going 6 or 7 games. There ain't gonna be no gentleman's 5 game sweep. I doubt, but the next game will be huge though. But the Pacers, they were known for giving up a game or two, so this is not a surprise. Cat came up big. Carlin Towns came up big. They did what they were supposed to do. They stayed within striking distance. Indiana was up by like, I don't know, was it 15, 16, 20 points? And but you just know that, hey, if you don't put the Knicks away completely and you play around, they live for this. This is what they do. That's why there are no great teams around, because somebody's got to make Tibbs and them pay for 6, 7 man rotation. You got to make them pay. You got to say, look, y'all not gonna beat us with this 2.5 man team mess. But easier said than done. Jalen Brunson did enough to get through, but it was just basically Karl Towns took it upon himself. And the Pacers pretty much, when you play, anybody could have a big game and your usuals don't step up. Siakam was not the Siakam he was in game two. This is what happens. Halliburton was all right. But the thing is that the Pacers maybe started believing the press clippings, and being an underdog Cartier kids, you got to still play their intensity. So, you just don't want to be in a situation where they got to win the next game. The pressure's on the Pacers for the next game. They got to win that. They cannot afford to lose 2 games at home, and then because then it's just anything can happen. So they got to win, and the heat is on them. Far as that goes, then it becomes a 3 out of 4. Anything can happen. But there are no great teams. That's one thing you're noticing right now. These teams aren't putting nobody away. When you up 2-0, you have to be able to make a statement. And the Knicks are a strange team because, they like to score a lot of points, but they've been playing defense enough to squeeze out games. And when you squeeze out like that, you have to play cohesive basketball. They like doing things the hard way. They really do. The Knicks really make it hard on themselves. They never make